Hey everyone, Adam here. Welcome back to another video. In this video, we got a special one. We got a first ever client interview. And this one, we had to go big. We had to go really big. Here, we're sitting here with the co-founder of Fuel Hunts. We've been working for years together. So I just want to sit down, kind of pick his brain about the brand and everything and our experience working together. So without further ado, Drew, how we doing, man?
Happy to be here, Adam, and I am honored to be your first guest on. I mean, you're a pretty big time YouTube guy now, so I mean, the amount of people this will reach, I'm excited.
Yeah, I love it, man. I love it, dude. So yeah, to kind of kick it off, obviously a lot of people just haven't heard of Fuel Hunt before, not yet at least. But if you want to just kind of quickly give a bit of just brief context on the brand and what Fuel Hunt's all about and everything.
Yeah, so Fuel Hunt was started by myself and my cousin Joey. Long story short, we were tired of the way we saw society going in our workplaces and in our lives, and we would call each other on the rides home from our respective jobs, just kind of commiserating, for lack of a better word, confiding in each other the qualms we had with our coworkers and people we encountered on a day-to-day basis. And one day he said to me on one of those phone calls, he's like, you know what they say, cuz everybody wants to eat, but few will hunt. And I was like, I've never heard anyone say that. Like, can you say it again? And I was in screen printing at the time, and I was like, we gotta get that on a fucking shirt, like ASAP. So we printed 12 shirts for ourselves and our friends and family to wear. And we didn't sell many of them for the first few years. We actually started just posting, and as Adam knows, posting our thoughts, our feelings, our words on Instagram and the blog, and we kind of grew that to however many followers we had. And at one point, we were like, how are we going to make this a real live business? And how are we going to be able to feed our families off of it? And we decided to put our apparel up for sale. And that was when the first time we actually made a sale when we asked people to buy things. So, long story short, we are a community of hard workers that are together restoring the dignity of hard work is our big mission. So, if you're not one of the few, then you probably won't enjoy our apparel.
Yeah, you're absolutely missing out if you haven't heard of Fuel Hunt, baby.
Yep.
And you guys have been super successful. Now, if you want to just kind of quickly share where, obviously, on the brand side, where before we even started working together, obviously we started back in 2020, and then now where you guys are at now in terms of revenue. If you want to quickly share where you guys are at with there.
2020 was a wild year. I mean, we were starting to see, because I mean, as any business owner or brand owner knows, that when any sale is like amazing, right? Like we would have days we would do like, I don't know, like $1,000, and it was like, oh my god, like this is fucking amazing. So in 2020, all we were doing was clicking boost post on Instagram, if like to promote it, and we would call it the faucet. So like, all right, let's put $50 in ads and we'll start getting sales, and that's all we knew, right? We were like, press A, B pops out. So we're like, this is awesome. Like we're making money, like doing this. Like this is crazy. And then one day we just get a random cold email from this goofy looking guy in in a little pop out on the screen, and he's like, "Yo, like, this guy kind of sounds legit." And we were kind of skeptical at first. We hopped on a couple calls with Adam, and Adam, like, I don't know if anyone knows this or the people that will see this, like Facebook and Google have your customers, right? Like paid ads is the way to scale, because you could go run a TV ad, right? And you'll never know who sees it. But the analytics and background that social or paid ads have on social is almost insane. They can put that your brand in front of the customer they know will buy it. So we started working with Adam. At that time, we were doing about 15K a month max. And then we, as you know, like went like a rocket ship. Like we were a hockey stick, and we went from,
it was
I
insane.
don't,
Yeah, it was
I don't
insane.
know our exact metrics, but once Adam started, we had a lot of success at first, like insane returns on our ads. We went from 15 to 50 to 150, and now we're closing on 250 a month and scaling accordingly. And we continue to, for anyone that is nervous about potentially starting running Facebook ads, like we are going all in on our paid advertising.
Yeah. it's been working tremendously.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember, like you were saying, yeah, I remember when you guys were first doing it with the boosted post, and I was like,
Mhm.
oh boy, you guys have something special here. You guys just
Yeah.
weren't like, yeah, just weren't leveraging
Yeah.
it all
Yep.
properly at all. And I think it was Joey who was just kind of just running the boosted post. What was that process like specifically? Like before, it was just
Oh, there was no
whatever.
process, Adam.
Yeah.
You're giving us way too much
Yeah.
credit, but we were just we found our best performing post on Instagram. We'd say, okay, this one worked with the community, and one specifically, it had our banner we still have, but it says everybody wants to eat, but few will hunt on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was a cool picture of in someone's garage gym that had purchased it before, and we literally just every time we ran that ad, it just automatically brought sales in the door. And that's the
Yeah.
point where we were like, yeah, we need to be doing, like, you had just reached out to us like when we just started doing that. And we are like, we need to do more of this.
Yeah, it was perfect timing. It was just
Mhm.
perfect timing. And then obviously things scaled like crazy. And then 2021 iOS
Mhm.
comes around. It was
Yeah.
just, yeah, that threw everyone for a loop. Start stagnating for a little bit. And then someone comes around. I don't know if we can mention the guy's name, but basically
Yeah.
ended up buying a piece of Fuel
Mhm.
Hunt and then wanted his in-house team to run it. And then after that, you guys ended up making a switch to another big agency in the space. If you want to kind of touch
Yeah.
on that experience,
So
and then basically compared to work with us, essentially.
yeah, so our partners team was amazing, right? Like we had all the right ideas. They were great people, and they did right by us. Reason we had left to make that switch was because of that, and we thought the grass was greener, right? Like we saw the crazy returns up front, and then things started to scale down a little bit because of iOS as well. Like things got. I mean, I don't know if you want to elaborate on exactly what happened with that iOS update, but it threw everyone in the social media world or other social media paid advertising world through a loop, and ads started to get dismal returns. So it was kind of a perfect storm, right? Like we're like, oh, like if we make a switch, like we're gonna see better returns. And they did a great job. It just we were making some mistakes as a business as well. We should have had better eyes on our numbers and how and the return we needed to get to scale profitably before we made that switch. And because we were making mistakes as leaders and entrepreneurs, we switched from them, which we may, in hindsight, may not have had to do, but because we were making mistakes and not watching our numbers appropriately, we switched to this brand this advertising company that we thought was going to be the solution, right? Because they present on their outlets as a big company that sells, and everyone sells the vacation, not the plane ride. I get it, but having worked with you and our partners team in house, who were both great, the level of, I want to say, intention and thought that went into curating the strategy and execution was just not there from them, if I'm being honest.
Gotcha. Yeah, because when I basically came in, re-audited the account, obviously the returns were just abysmal. That was obviously one of your biggest frustrations.
Mhm.
And just when I saw the strategy, I was like, there's so much bigger
Yeah.
opportunity here in terms of what you guys could be doing with the whole product suite you guys have and everything.
Yeah, and
So
that was the part that was most frustrating is we would get on weekly check-in calls or bi-weekly check-in calls, and I would always ask about the return, and it would just be like, "Oh, we need time, we need time, we need time," and then a month turned to 2 months, and then so on and so forth.
right, I see. I just never got better.
No,
Yeah, because the returns obviously with your guys' cogs, your shipping, and then you guys also took the loan, the Shopify loan. It's just not
yeah,
even feasible to
yeah.
like even make it happen.
You
So
can't, you
yeah.
can't. At those returns, you literally are unable to cover your operating expenses.
Yeah, exactly. And then when we came back in, if you want to touch on the results in first a little bit here,
The
that we're back in action.
Yeah, the part that was like super refreshing is that when we started working with Adam, however many 7 years ago or so, or not, maybe not seven, but like
Like 4 or so. Yeah.
4 years ago, we were a much smaller company, and you were much younger people, both of us, and we grew a lot as a company. And then when we came back around, it was refreshing because you had also leveled up substantially. You had a bigger team that was like helping provide higher levels of service, right? Like, and I was like, whoa, like this is a totally different AQM Media. Like this is
Yeah.
because again, we were all figuring out business at the time,
Yeah.
and you guys came in with a fresh strategy, higher quality. That was okay. Jumping back real quick, previous company, the quality of ads, and I knew that they were not good quality ads, and I was just all right. Like, they think they know the answers, so I was letting them
Yeah.
run with it. And yeah, so you guys came in with fresh, big team, fresh perspective on ads, a new strategy that we're now executing on and seeing great, amazing returns, just different targeting and super high quality ads.
Yeah, I love it. And I think obviously, yeah, comparing it obviously to October when they were running it, I think we've like over doubled the profitability right
Mhm.
away,
Oh yeah.
which is just insane.
The
So
the part that was like,
um,
I was like, okay, we made the right decision was like the first day we automatically got like it was like a 4 or 5 ROAS, and I was like, okay, like it just
yeah, I knew.
as a business owner
Yeah,
makes you if it's frustrating to be making like mistakes for months over months and then being like, oh damn, we should have done this a year ago, but you live and you learn. That I mean,
yeah,
it's how you
yeah.
grow.
100%. I remember when we were chatting again, though. I remember Joey was just like, "Dude, we have to make this happen. Like,
Yeah,
there's no there's no room for failure. We
no,
literally need to make this work right now." So
yeah,
I'm like, "I got it." So yeah, we went hard, making sure that yeah, we just got right back on the right footing. And obviously, now with things how we're going now, obviously we're in 2024 now. Things are looking really, really good. What are you seeing in terms of goals for just 2024 and even beyond as well too, if you want to touch on that?
we talked about this before, but I would like to cross the 5 million mark in 2024. We will have to, in order to do so, we'll have to have a big Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Obviously, that the November, December are big months for us, and anyone in e-commerce knows that. But yeah, 5 million 2024. We got as far as our community goes, we got our paid online if you want Rise community for anyone that's willing to put in the work and wants to see things other than baby pictures and Instagram models and wants to be a part of a few private social network. And then we have our in-person events. So we're doing a growth and grappling tour throughout the country in 2020 in October. So big plans for 2024, dude.
Yeah, I love it, man. I think it's absolutely achievable. I think what we got on the horizon just on our end for what we're working on with you guys, I think it's absolutely doable. So there's just so much potential. Yeah, so I'm excited. I think that 5 million is absolutely achievable. So
Dropping the bucket.
um
Dropping the bucket.
yeah, drop in the bucket. I mean, 5
Yeah,
million is a tiny, tiny company.
exactly.
Right now it is at least, but I know,
Oh yeah.
trust me when I say that. So yeah, these guys we got some big ambitious. So I'm
Oh
super,
yeah.
super excited. When I was gonna ask you too as well, if someone's like on the fence of just working with us and me and the team and everything, and just not sure if it's gonna work, like what would you kind of tell them?
Yeah. I mean, I've sent a few referrals over to you to date, and I recommend anybody who's in e-commerce, even I mean, local businesses can use paid. How do you refer to it as, Adam? Like social paid
Yeah, paid
advertising,
social. Yeah, paid
paid
advertising.
social. Okay, okay,
Yeah,
that's
paid
the
social. Yeah.
use
Yeah.
paid social for their business because, like I said, like Facebook especially knows your customers, and especially your new customers. Um, but the advice I have to give the people I send your way is that like you have to know the numbers, right? Like you have to know your margins, your operating expenses, and exactly your break even point so you know how much you can spend because you can get spend happy when you're seeing a 2x return, even like a 3x return. Like you can spend a lot of money on paid ads, but if your numbers and cost of goods and operating expenses don't line up, then it's not going to work out.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well said. Yeah, to kind of close it out here, in terms of just so there's gonna be a lot of brand owners, watching this and everything. What kind of obviously you've already touched on a couple tips, but just in general, any tips, biggest lessons that you'd pass over to any brand owners out there that are, trying to grow, trying to scale, and
Yeah, so
trying to make it
I
happen?
always like to leave things at threes, but um I'll just reiterate the two I said earlier, right? Like know your numbers. Um, and I forget what the second one I said was, but if you go back in the video, you can watch what the second one I said. And the third one is keep going and keep growing, because comfort is a slow death, as we like to say. And I know it's hard, and business and e-commerce especially can be hard, but you got to keep finding that next level and keep going.
Yeah, really well said. Just to kind of touch on your point, though, it was actually the second one was the manufacturing,
Yeah.
making sure your manufacturer is sorted. Yeah. So
Yeah.
there you go. There you go. True. Absolute pleasure, man. Really, really loved hopping on this. That was so much fun, man. And I'll leave all the links down below for everything. And without further ado, we'll end it at that. And
Appreciate you,
thanks
brother.
so much once again, Drew. Yeah, appreciate you as well. All right. Cheers, man. Peace out.